Hello people, this is TheWart0rn, and today we're going to be doing something new. Today I'm going to be doing a build, so this is going to be a short stream before, in a short video before I actually start my stream. So today we are going to be talking about a complete pure ice build. So this build in itself is not DPS orientated at all. There is some damage in it, but it is a support build. A lot of crowd control in it. So as we're going to start off with the skill tree and work from there. So I can explain the skill tree. So we're going down the tech shaman for this ice build. For multitude of reasons. It is actually a good support build. One, you've got good heals in it for your team with the turrets that you're going to be using. So we'll start off. It gives you 10% extra health. Altogether, I think it's 40% extra health. You have got cooldown reductions. I haven't added both of them on because I don't need them, I only need the one. Didn't see the point of adding that into it. I have put 20% armor on it because you're not, when you're running as a team, you're not going to be focusing on dealing damage. Your sole focus with this build is to control the crowd. There is some skill leech to go with your turrets help you. So the main ones that you want for this build in this tree line is here. You want exposing frost. Every time freeze is inflicted on an enemy, vulnerable status is inflicted as well. So this is where you're going to get some of your damage back, right? So because you're not going to be focusing on any like firepower. You can if you want, but I'll explain that later on when we get down the build. Then you add this one in there, marked for execution. Vulnerable inflicted on enemies is 40% more effective. So that is one of the skills you want here. You've got also here, freeze inflicted on enemies lasts 20% longer. I think it's where else is it? So here's where you get your heals. These will come with your turrets. So using gadgets, skills increase all heals received by you and your allies by 30% for 7 seconds. Then you've got here increase all heals by 20% for you and allies. This with another talent mod that you get will give you about 70% heals for your allies. I do branch off into one skill into this here for 1 mark for 6% on your anomaly power. This build is going to be heavy on anomaly power and status effect. So I will show you what I mean by that right now. Well, we'll go to your skills first. So the three skills that you're going to be using is your blighted turret, your cold snap, and your cryo turret. So the reason you're going to be using your blighted turret is there is a mod called two ticks. What the heck is it called? I'll show you there just now. There is a mod that you will be using called ice component. So for here anyway, we'll explain through here to why you'll be using ice components. So as it says there, the blighted turret turns now inflict freeze instead of toxic. So as it says, the build's going to be heavy on anomaly power and stats effect. Bear in mind, this build is nowhere near maximized at all. It's just a beginning build. So as it stands with the amount of anomaly power I have just now, I can, well, that's lower than I thought it was going to be. I do apologise, that was lower. I've misplaced something, but we'll get back to that. So the anomaly power damage, as you can see, skill damage bonus at the bottom for me just now is at 290. That should be higher. I'm missing something somewhere, but let's see. Yeah, so we will get back to that. So on your armor, the three stats that you want to be finding on your armor, if you can get them all rolled like this helmet, is anomaly power, status power, and cooldown reduction. The cooldown reduction you only need to have on 2 pieces of your gear, because that gives you enough cooldown reduction to throw your turrets out. By the time your turrets ended, you'll already have your turrets back and your snap freeze. So we will be running on this build. You will run a blighted turret, ice component, blighted turret, armor reduction. The armor reduction, that decreases the enemy's armor by 30%, so there again you'll get more damage. Then you'll be running the blighted turret again, which gives you better parts, which gives you 50% duration on the blighted turret. And then for your other turret, you're going to be running the cryo turret. You're going to be running healing shot, hail shot, should I say? So the hail shot, you will be running. Where is it? I've lost that. It gives you more. It basically gives you more DPS to your turret the more status effects you have. So I worked it out roughly. If you run 5 pieces of gear at the maximum of 30%, you're going to be running 50% status power. Status effect. Then if you put the other 30% status effect on your gun, no matter what gun you use, because you're both guns you'll be running status effect on when you get them, you will run a maximum of 180 status effect. The status effect in itself the reason you run that is you need that to keep your freeze up. So the more status effect you have, the longer your enemies stay frozen. And this is a big part of this build. The longer you can keep them frozen, the better. So you have 2 turrets that will keep them frozen and your snap freeze just in case you get surrounded. So the snap freeze is only ever used if you need to get out of dodge. Your 2 guns, you will run this one here. I think I've got what I want on it. Yeah, so your two guns, you want to be running improved freeze bullets, and on your second one you want to be running deathly chains. Deathly chains, it scales as you level, so it will increase in damage. You want to be running the deathly chains because it will give you more damage output. It's just a case of shoot and leave. My suggestions is run an AR because it pumps out more damage for just in case you need it. But like I said, an LMG is probably your best way to go because of the sustained fire, and you want to have life leech and skill life leech on there as well as status power. The skill life leech will allow your turrets whilst they're out to constantly replenish your health. So the higher your skill life leech, the better. your weapon life leech. Basically with the LMG, it's just a case of constantly shooting at them. If you get surrounded or you're needing to replenish your health because it's went low because you're having to, as I say, get out of dodge, the LMG gives you enough sustained fire to replenish all your health. So the mods that you want to be running with the turret mods are stand tall, that adds anomaly power and firepower for being out of cover. So you're never really in cover a lot in this game, you're just constantly going for bit to bit. So that you want to have, which that gives you your gives you more firepower and more anomaly power. There is another mod that you want to be running with. That is moving groove. Moving groove adds anomaly power and firepower for moving about. So that's more firepower and anomaly power for moving. So it's a case you don't really want to be in cover with this build. You want to be constantly on the move. And there is other mods that you want to be having with that. So you've got Ice Trap. Basically, Ice Trap is when your health drops below 30%, you will freeze everybody within a 10-meter radius for 5 seconds, which allows you again to get out of dodge. If you've already used your snap freeze, that's a very good mod for getting yourself out of dodge. Then on top of that, you will also want to be running, where is it? Freezing boost. So it gives you 15% damage to frozen enemies. So again, it's giving you another 15% damage boost to enemies. So as I said, you don't really need to be stacking firepower on this. A lot of your damage that you're going to be getting is from your mods. As I says, this build is nowhere near optimized. I don't have mods where I would like them. I have the turret mods where I want them. Basically, you want to be having 3 blighted mods on and 2 cryo mods. That's basically what you want to be running with this. So as I said, you want ice component. The turret now inflicts freeze. Then you want to have armored reduction, blighted turret. The turret reduces the armor each enemy it hits by 30%. Effect lasts for 5 seconds. The blighted turret, it hits a lot of enemies as an ice turret. Then again, on top of it, you want to have better parts, as I said before. It gives you a 50% duration. As I said, I do not have some of the mods I would like on here. I do have stand tall, and I do have adrenaline. I would like to have 3 other mods on here. They would be your ice trap, not your ice trap, because I have ice trap on. No, I don't have ice trap on. I would like to have ice trap on here, and I would like to have move and groove, and I would also like to have adrenaline or freezing boost. They're the mods that I would like to have on this build. But as the build stands alone, it does have some. As it stands just now, the build is really good. I will see if there's anywhere in this area that I can take you to show you the build before I end. I do apologize about this, people, if I rambled on. This is my first build video. If there is any complaints you have or any suggestions you have to help me make my build video any better, I am always open to suggestions. So I will get on and I will show you what we need to do. So Dying Wish, what we'll do is we'll go replay Dying Wish. It's a good one for actually trying this out and showing you. I usually run this build with a friend who runs a DPS build, so it works really well with a high DPS build. Basically, you freeze everything and they will just rinse through everything. You throw your turrets down, you move up, throw your turrets down, and then move back and let them come in and clean everything up. We'll skip through all this.
Explosives. Yeah. I'll repair the line.
Did you find where the line is broken? It's the only thing stopping this plunger from
What are you mining
working.
for down here anyway?
Any metal resources we could find to support the colonization. And after that, the war effort. It was backbreaking, but we made it work. We were mining to keep our people alive. Oregon's people protect.
So as you can see, we're actually on world tier 13, so the enemies are going to be a slight bit higher than us. I hate those snipers, I really do. As you can see, we're constantly keeping them frozen. Hate those snipers, I really do. As you see, I was moving around, so we used the snap freeze to freeze in place so we can move position. And the turrets itself wasn't dealt with him near enough. So we're going to get a boss here in a minute, so we will be able to show you the effects it has on the boss. He goes there. There's a sniper somewhere. Always is. And as you can see, the life leech on the turrets, on the skills, gives you enough to keep yourself sustained, as well as the life leech on the guns. So, here was a short demonstration, and as it stands just now, if there's any questions, do feel free to send me any messages on YouTube, Facebook and Twitch, and I will be quite happy to answer any questions. I'm going to end here, and I will be starting up my stream in just like 5 seconds after I end this. I do apologise about the roughness of the video and the build, but I will try and get better at doing them.